Say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief. We're going to try to keep this one brief, but before we do, if you're a fan of Going In Raw, let's hit that, smash that like button. Let's get it up to 537 today, man. 537 likes. Let's see if we can get there. You guys have been blowing us away with the likes.
Yeah, man.
And hit that sub button, notify bell. What's in the news?
All notifications. First up, Becky Lynch. She made an appearance at CES 2020. Did you pay attention to CES stuff this year? That's a Consumer Electronics Show, isn't it?
No, I feel like I should, though.
We used to back in the old days, the Machinima days.
Yeah.
We used to do 10 for the win. Now, speaking of which, new 10 for the win coming up this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
She took part in a panel and spoke about, the pressures involved in main eventing shows.
She kept it real, man.
Yeah, man.
She kept it real.
That's what Becky does. Quote, "A million guys have had terrible main event matches, but if I have a subpar main event match, the question comes up, should women be main eventing?" Why would that's a ridiculous question to ask when that's the
I know.
You know?
I know.
Anyway, that's what she said. It's a bogus logic there. Anyway, she continues, quote, "We are in the position right now where we have to be extra. We have to work harder constantly so that the future generations don't have to deal with that anymore. Becky is the best."
Becky is the best, and she's completely right. And I know a lot of dudes will probably be triggered by this, which is silly.
Becky's 100% right.
But she's 100% right. Like, there has been just a whole history of turd main events that happen, and it's going to happen regardless of who's in there. And for women to have a main event that doesn't go off exactly as planned, and you can take a look at the tag match between her and Charlotte and the Kabuki Warriors, where Kairi Sane got injured during the match, and then people, they shouldn't be main eventing in the match, because
the end of the match kind of felt put together, because it was put together.
Because here's the funny thing. Here's the thing. Like, I've seen this one from some of our contemporaries. I'm not going to name them, but the question isn't should this story be main eventing. It's should the women be main eventing, and that's so bad, because the question should be, if you have a problem with the main event, regardless of who it is, okay, should this story be main eventing? Is it important enough to main event? That's a question that's completely valid.
Yes.
Completely and totally valid. But to ask the question, or to say, that's because women shouldn't be main eventing.
That's caca.
That's a bit asinine.
That's what they call a bad take.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she brings that up.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably going to get a bunch more bad takes in response to it, and that's when you hit the mute button or the block button.
Exactly.
But
she's 100% right, and you do see that play out where, you brought that match, the tag match, and yeah, that match got a ton of criticism, and but I is a level of criticism levied unfairly, usually on for that match, for example, equal to the praises given for successful main event matches that women are involved in.
Yeah. I mean, if you remember, so we were there for Roman Reigns main eventing against the Undertaker. Yeah. And the question of should that story have main evented? Probably, because at the time
it seemed like Undertaker's last match.
It seemed like his last match, and they had a very dramatic end to it. But it was a turd of a match.
It was not a good match.
Undertaker could barely move at the time. And at no point did anybody say, well, the men shouldn't be main eventing. It should be the women main eventing. At no time did anybody say that. And that's equally as asinine to say, So, they roll with what Vince thinks is the most money match.
In this past WrestleMania, it was the women's match.
It was the women's match 100%.
100%.
And yeah, there was that botchy finish, which kind of soiled the main event to a degree, even though I still think it was the right move. And I thought, by and large, the main event was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a fun match. It was just Jack Daddy, and then the shoulder wasn't down all the way.
I know, but it was like so much. It was just like got crapped on so much because of the fit. Like the pin wasn't perfect. I know it's supposed to be a definitive thing. You want to end WrestleMania on a high where Becky win the belts, but the finish by its very nature, it wasn't Ronda tapping out to a disarmer. It was not. I don't want to say opportunistic. It was a tactical pin on Becky's part.
Yeah, right.
it was her wrestling acumen beat Ronda Rousey's, I don't know, MMA skills, whatever you want to call it. That was the story that played out.
Yeah.
And so that could get a little messy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nature of those type of wins.
Yeah.
So no, I agree with that. It doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, like was it TLC or was that tag match? Yeah, it was TLC.
Yeah, it was TLC.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing a recap for it, and we were like, yeah, something felt kind of off about it. Mm-hmm. And I believe you said, yeah, I seemed like Kyrie got hurt.
Yeah.
And you look at it within the context of that, it's shocking they finished the match as well as what they did.
I think on paper that match is probably pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
But no, I like that Becky brought this up because here's the thing: in her position, also, being essentially the face of the company at this point, it's kind of a ballsy thing to bring this up in the first place. So that's interesting. I thought that was good.
Good on Becky. She's great.
Good on AEW as well. Destroyed NXT in the ratings. Man. For those of you who care, look, we both did for patrons. So we used to do a thing here on the channel called Who Won Wednesdays.
Yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
And we're not doing that anymore on the channel simply because from a business point of view, it makes more sense for us to do these news briefs where we can give you the info about the ratings. But over on the Patreon, we continued it in sort of a stripped down manner where we talk about the same things just without all the graphics and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you really, really, really loved Who Won Wednesdays, it's on our Patreon, $5 a month, and you can get it there. However, we will talk because it is news. The ratings battle between NXT and AEW. It is interesting to us anyways.
Yeah.
AEW, 947,000 viewers. So that's a little bit down from when it was unopposed last week.
Yeah.
Well, unopposed. NXT ran a clip show and an award
virtually
show.
Unopposed.
6 overall in the 18 to 49 graphic demo.
Yeah, 0.36.
Demographic. That is the highly all those advertisers.
It's the demo that apparently has most disposable income.
Yeah. Meanwhile, NXT, while it was up from their clip show, it was significantly down against AEW. 721,000 overall viewers, but probably the bigger story is they did really bad in the demographic, 18 to 49 demographic, 55th overall.
0.19.
About 0.19.
About half what AEW did.
Yeah. I assume NXT, the great thing is, though, like NXT's, creatively speaking, is really rolling high these days. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if they do anything, if they feel like they can do anything outside of their main creative philosophy, whether it's, hey, in March, we're going to start taking it on the road. If this trend continues, and see if the bigger scale of being on the road will help. Or if they might try to integrate a little bit more. The Royal Rumble's coming up.
Yeah.
If they give NXT another boost from that, maybe dance around or do some more invasion stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how much you can go to that well.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I suppose in the road to Mania, say especially if, I don't know, Keith Lee wins the Rumble, he can keep everybody, in anticipation about who he's going to challenge for their respective titles.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to use the success of Raw and SmackDown or the established audience of Raw and SmackDown to
build NXT.
To build NXT. And I trust Triple H to do that creatively speaking. I think he could do a good job with that. This was really interesting. The original plans for Wrestle Kingdom 14, had we lived in a universe, Larson, where New Japan and Ring of Honor, when approached by Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny to do All In, if they said, no, you're not allowed to do that contractually, and we're not going to help you at all if you are allowed to do it contractually. If that had not turned out,
well, I mean, actually,
if Tony Khan never existed,
it seems to be like I think the Young Bucks and Cody, they just wanted like contracts. My understanding, they say they want a dual contract or something like that with Ring of Honor and New Japan, which I think they wanted contracts with each individual promotion rather than just one.
Yeah,
that's my understanding, and get paid what they thought they were worth.
Yeah,
from each contract. I think, and it seems like if they had gotten that, there's a good chance none of this would have happened.
Potentially, yeah. Unless Tony Khan made him like a really good offer that they couldn't refuse. I don't know.
Anyways, Meltzer spoke about the original plans for Wrestle Kingdom. Apparently, Double Gold Dash was going to be a thing.
Regardless, Omega would still be there.
Yeah, so the final four were going to be Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Kazuchika Okada. So Ibushi would have won the G1 still. He would have faced Omega, who was still IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Main event night one.
Right.
For that belt. And then Okada would wrestle Naito. It was unclear based on what, because this is a recap from WrestleZone. who would be walking into Wrestle Kingdom as IC champion. Regardless, Okada would leave Wrestle Kingdom as IC champion.
I think I read like a little bit of the thing. I think earlier it said Okada was going to walk in IC title after having it for a little while to elevate that title a bit.
So
Naito had it off of Jay White,
but Jay White had it walking into.
Yeah, he had it walking in.
Yeah.
So just that wouldn't have played out, I guess.
So main event night 2 would have been Omega Okada.
Yeah. Oh man. And then was there any
with everything on the line?
Who would have won that one?
Okada. I don't think I mentioned. Probably Okada, because I think the Jay White Okada match at the G1 Supercard that happened last year was supposed to be Omega Okada, and Omega was supposed to retain.
Wow.
So he's supposed to have that belt for a while.
Boy. Yeah, that'd have been a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Omega and Ibushi would have got their one-on-one match at Wrestle Kingdom in the Dome.
Yeah, that's right.
Which they said the only time they would ever revisit that match they had at the Budokan in like 2012 as if they was at a huger venue.
Well, hey man, a lot can happen in a year.
Exactly.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me if the Forbidden Door was open between now and then.
Yep.
So yeah, that's an interesting little bit of or they would have been in WWE. Young Bucks on 205.
Entirely possible.
Wondering where they are because there's no 205.
Cody lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, and Cody back to being Stardust.
I know. He's all.
Whoop. Here's a little bit of cross your fingers and hope that Tyson Fury loses a boxing match news. So this is from WrestleVotes. They say lots of speculation regarding Tyson Fury and WrestleMania. Source said his fight at MGM Grand versus Deontay Wilder on February 22nd, is crucial to him appearing in Tampa. If Wilder wins, Vince isn't throwing money at a guy who just lost on pay-per-view. That's the difference there between him and like Ronda Rousey, who had lost like ages before, had built a legendary career already.
And she was also several years removed from holding a championship
and she was out of the game.
Yeah.
If Wilder wins, and she was a big crossover name.
Yeah.
If Wilder wins, Vince isn't throwing money at a guy who just lost on a pay-per-view. So to a degree, the ball is in Fury's court or Deontay Wilder's court, depending on who comes out ahead. So I think we'll both be rooting for Deontay Wilder.
Absolutely.
Because if it's a choice between Tyson Fury and Cain Velasquez, I would much rather go with Cain Velasquez.
Obviously.
I really want neither of them. But if it has to be one of them, I definitely want it to be Cain Velasquez.
This is in terms of Brock's opponent at WrestleMania.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, if the title's not involved, if Tyson Fury's in it, I don't care. That's bathroom break.
I don't care. Yeah.
Bathroom break match. I don't care.
Let's find the guy who's supposed to deliver our food break.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Let's schedule that. Can this guy show up when Brock Lesnar has his non-title match?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to chase you down somewhere.
Yeah.
You're going to deliver to a different door, or you're going to put it in front of our door and then take it away, and it's going to smell like the food.
The hallway literally smells like pizza, but yet there's no pizza. It did happen.
That happened.
That did happen.
Finally, Showtime, the not the Lakers era.
No.
The cable TV, the premium cable TV
Network,
channel.
Yes.
They're getting into wrestling business.
Maybe. This is from Wrestling Inc. Quote, Wrestling Inc. has been able to confirm with sources close to the situation. There is interest in MLW.
Major League Wrestling.
Yes, from Showtime. We do not currently have any other specifics. While Showtime has not aired any wrestling programming, they have had interest in the genre in the past. The network was in talks with AEW just last year. We reached out to MLW, who had no comment. Of course, Court Bauer, the man behind MLW, has been on Twitter saying that he's been having meetings, potential huge developments for the future of his company.
Mm-hmm. That's great. It's a good-looking show. I don't really keep up too much with it beyond when cool things happen, like the stabbing of Conan.
Yeah. Is Jacob Fatu still their champ, right?
I think so.
He's awesome.
He's great.
We've seen him wrestle here a few times.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. And so this is great because they have a really, really well-produced show on YouTube, but YouTube don't pay very good anyways. Their numbers are really good, though. Them and the NWA continue to get around 100,000.
Well, MLW does have a TV deal.
With BN Sports.
Yeah.
But I have no idea
what
that even means. Yeah. So Showtime's like a real thing. And that would probably mean real money, which is good.
And then up their production value, maybe.
Yeah. Their production value is really good. So even if it's a matter of, hey, bringing in, maybe locking down some other names or whatever, it's difficult in today's landscape. If somebody really wants one of their guys, if AEW or NXT really wants one of their guys, maybe this will allow them to say, hey, hold on, we got some money. We can do some stuff. So, yeah, there you go. That's your news brief of the day. Once again, hit that like button if you're listening to this in the audio realm. This show, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to listen to this as a podcast, you totally can. All these news briefs do go up as podcasts wherever podcasts can be found. Leave us a rating, review, or a comment. You got some info on BN Sports?
Yeah, it's not on Comcast because it's as of 2018.
Why does Comcast have nothing? They don't have access to anything.
Well, I mean, like they're basically, I don't want to say a monopoly because I don't know if that's exactly true, but they're like the.
I think that's the West Coast. It's like a West Coast monopoly. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So if they can kind of play hardball with stations, especially smaller stations like BN.
Like BN Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, don't be in my TV, evidently. So that's it for the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate our NXT and AEW reviews are up right now. You can check those out.
Smash that like button.
Let's just try to get it to 537. That's the number for today. 537.
Across the board, everything that goes up today, 537.
I don't even know what that means. Oh, the NXT and
all of
them 537.
All of them, man.
All right. Well, if you guys are hitting that like button, if you see it's a 537, stop. Don't do anymore. I just want exactly 537. Let's see how directly we can manipulate these stats. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Yeah, fine.
Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.